Rocky the Shiitake. I had big plans for this little shroom, and unfortunately those plans are going to waste, but more on that later. Let's go through an overview of this guy. So he's a bit unusual in that you only get him as part of the daily rewards, so there's no way to rush increasing his star level any faster. Lady Nimrod, is a little bit like that, but you can actually rush through finishing chapters and increasing your way towards her, so that helps a little bit. With this guy, there's no way to get him any faster other than buying gems with real money and moving up to higher VIP levels. Then you get a multiplier on getting him. But I just got him. I've gone through, I'm at VIP level 1 with the $3 purchase, and took quite a few days. But I did get him, and he's kind of an exciting character, so let's go further and find out a little about him. Looking at his traits, you see that he is magical, and he's got this piercing yelp. It says it's a small chance to scream when attacked that lowers defense. I haven't had this proc yet. I did play with him for quite a bit on PvP and campaign to try to get a better feel for him. He's got a really interesting ability we'll be coming back to in just a minute. I've got him at level 34, so fairly high. My level cap right now is 38, and his health is still really, really low. His attack is still really low, and his defense is low as well. He's got a high skill level that doesn't help with his first ability. Let's go over and check that ability. So skill level, a lot of times that's going to affect how much damage, it's getting multiplied in to determine the damage of the skill. But here, the skill isn't getting multiplied up by anything, so that skill level's kind of lost on his first ability. This is a really amazing ability, though. It grants haste to the whole party, which basically means for one turn, everyone gets 2 attacks. And they get this one turn, 57% at this current level, dodge percentage chance, which is an awesome ability. It's got a fairly long cooldown of 7 turns, but still an amazing ability to have. We'll talk in just a minute. I had high hopes for this ability, that it might have synergies in a couple different ways, and we'll talk about that in a second. So his next ascension, going to level 2, he gets Mauling, which looks like a decent physical attack skill. Starts off with 3 times in this relatively low 127, but that'd be boosted up times 3, and that's just for the level 1. So that'd probably be a moderate amount of damage, but his attack is so low that that it'd be difficult to do a whole lot. And then this Nature's Fury, increasing the crit by 15% for all nature allies. One of the things we've been talking about recently has been the PvP, the dungeon raiding, and the mechanics for that. And one of the things that we've said is that you can't, for very strong skills, they've changed the mechanics so that the defending team can't use those strong skills on the very first turn. And that happens with things like Polar Pounding, Chaos, whatever the Chaos Storm or whatever that is, that Pontifex does. A lot of those Mass Effect very strong spells can't be used on the first turn. I searched Google high and low to try to find out if this Spore Cloud could be used, and lots of people had asked the question, but nobody had answered it. So I leveled him up and put him in a party and tried to find out, and it turns out it can't. He doesn't use it on the first turn, which is too bad. But he does use it on the second turn, which kind of blew out the party I was going for. What I tried to do was a combination of that fast attack party and him. So I had Black Diamond and Masuta do their area effect, and they're both fast, so do quite a bit of damage to the whole other team. And then I also put Willow on the team, and she would take out one of their players. And then the hope was that she would take out their fast player if they only had one, and then he'd be the next person to go, the next character, and he would then use the Spore Cloud, and then everyone would get a chance to go again. He would get a second turn, so he could attack, and then everyone on the fast team would get to go as well. Turns out that doesn't work out. So too bad he's off the team, and luckily that forced me to make the fast team altogether, so now I've got an all-fast team working on my defense side, and I'm trying to find out how that works. I'm just hoping people attack, just waiting and checking it every so often to find out. So the other way I was hoping to use him was in combination with Chief Nub and Echo and potentially Dagrund. So my hope was that each of those turns that they would get to take using this ability, the Spore Cloud, would count as a turn where they're going to regenerate energy. So if he used this and then, or if you used Echo, for example, say you use Spore Cloud first, and then Echo takes a turn, he uses Energize to give everyone 2 energy, and then my hope was that they would take that turn and regain another energy, and you could kind of create this cycle. Dagrun could then help Echo again, and you could just keep this thing moving. It's probably good they didn't allow that to happen, but I was still hoping for some overpoweredness as well, because that team would be super squishy, so it would have its drawbacks as well. Could have been interesting. Since neither of those things work out, I think the only place that he's going to have on my team is going to be as the shared hero. I think he's a very effective shared hero. He'll get called on a lot of times. That's a great ability for them to bring in for anyone who's calling in a friend's ability, to be able to have your whole team go twice, and then you don't have any drawback of losing his turn even. So you really get 8 character turns instead of 4 for that round, which is a great skill. So he could have been so much more. I was really excited about it, but it didn't turn out for him. So for now, I think he'll be sitting on the bench.